the timing of this all hands meeting was perfect because we are in the middle of our Verizon Values Summit in Miami. And before I go through my priorities, I'd like to just quickly introduce you to the Verizon Value IT team. 1, 2, 3. Verizon Value. So thank you for that. Culture is the foundation of everything, right? And I spoke about that yesterday. The way we express culture is how we create an environment for all of us to flourish, right? As our authentic selves. And we're serious about this, okay? And so it breeds into agility in our way of working. It breeds into empowerment and trust and a safe environment. There's a lot of aspects to it. One of the ways that we've really rallied around our culture evolution is through culture tiles. And so you see these tiles behind us that they have meaning. And what's really cool is it's about a personal meaning. It's about what it means to you as a human and as a person, as a professional, yeah? And so about 18 months ago, we created these tiles. Many of you have seen the tiles on our backgrounds on Blue Jeans or Teams or Google Meet, and we use the tiles that mean something to us. And so one of the kind of ceremonies, if you will, that we do together when we get together is we pick a tile and we tell a story about it, yeah? And so that's what we're going to do. Us three, Rajat, Scott, and I are going to pick a tile and tell you a story about what it means to us. My tile is humility is our competitive advantage, okay? Humility is a key leadership trait. All of you will see this, I think, about all of us. And it's humility to be honest when you make a mistake, right? It's humility to understand that we're all not perfect, right? It's humility to know that we can all learn, right? We can all learn from each other. We can all learn something new. None of us have all the answers. And so as we show up with humility, it makes us all better. And we have another saying, which is, we're stronger together, right? So that's my tile. Thank you for listening. We want to make this conversational, if we can, right? And by that I mean any comments to add color or texture to the strategy by the leadership team or anyone else, and then any feedback, any questions. One of the things you heard Regina talk about, kind of in a fun way, but we're serious about it, is transparency. There's no question I won't answer, none. And I'll tell you, that those that have heard me talk, I use two phrases. I think, this is Jay's opinion, right? Or I know because I've gotten information that's factual from either somewhere in the company, right?
Hi, everyone. I'm Sue.
Hi.
Jay, this is for you. So I noticed on your priorities you had mentioned culture is a part. And I don't think anyone in here doubts that from you. Like, your energy is radiant. We can look and we see that amongst us, the visible team has their own identity, and the Verizon prepaid team has their own identity. And yes, the track phone team, y'all have y'all own identity. So my question is, how do you plan to bring those three teams, allow them to continue to be themselves, but bring them together? Where does that synergy come from?
It's a great question, and we are going to put a lot of emphasis on it because of my earlier comments of it's the foundation for everything. So we need to work through the details, but I'll give you my thoughts, right? We will have culture workshops, right? In fact, we're going to have a smaller one today where we take the elements of the culture of each of the three and we talk about which ones are the best of. And I expect us to lead in the culture space. That's an expectation. We can do it. We've done it at Track, and I'm sure we can do it for the value segment, right? But I would say best of, looking across, and I'll just give you some of my thoughts. So visible, the creativity, that new energy, the innovation side, the simple side of wireless. Like, I think there's a lot of elements in there that are going to be a big part of our best of. And Verizon prepaid, execution, delivery, numbers, results. And I would equate that also to the bigger V, which I see Verizon prepaid as kind of a subset of the bigger V. And then on our side, it'll be, the empowerment, the trust, the safe environment, the vulnerability, when we make a mistake, some of those things I mentioned, our agile ways of working. So I see a natural kind of connection of the best of that we will be able to arrive at. My commitment is it will not be Rajat, Scott, and I making those calls. It's going to be us. That's another big part of how we operate. We don't do things top down. We do not do things top down. We might give some guidance or suggestions. We might challenge, because that's part of our job, right? But the way you get results is bottoms up. So one of the things we do, just as an example, that I think would be part of the best of is teams make commitments. They don't get handed dates. Teams make commitments based on their understanding of the work. And we serve teams. We make sure that whatever impediments or obstacles they have, we are getting those out of the way so that they can deliver amazing results, better results than we could ever imagine. That's what our experience, not just here at TracFone, but across all of the companies that we've worked. Yeah. So thank you.
In a recent all hands or one of the meetings recently, you shared some of the TracFone goals, and one of them was about innovation goals. I was wondering if you could talk about some of the vision around how we can bring the best efforts through innovation to light and bring them to market.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So we have a concept called democratized innovation, right? Innovation and ideas don't come from the executive team. And so we want every single person in Verizon Value IT thinking about what we can do differently to deliver for our customers in innovative and creative ways. I mentioned we got a similar question about ideation, and I think Visible does ideation sessions. We do hackathons. We haven't done one in a while, but we would love to organize into teams and have a hackathon which is really focused on a customer pain point that we know, not that we think, that we know because we've heard from our customers, and then we spend a day and we concept and ideate on what could solve that customer problem. And by the way, we do it cross-discipline. We've done company-wide ones where we've got finance people working with IT people, working with the supply chain people, and you'd be shocked at some of the ideas and concepts that came out that actually tested really well with our customer base. One of the goals we also have is 20,000 hours of innovation across our entire Verizon Value IT team. That innovation is not just customer-facing innovation. So when you think about innovation, also think about how do we innovate on the way we work, right? How do we innovate with test-driven development, scriptless automation, selector AI, which is in the operations space around correlating events to predict incidents before they happen. So there's an internal innovation focus within IT, and there's also an external innovation focus with our customers. Hackathons and other sessions would be how we would do it.